Kamala is mentally impaired. Joe Biden became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. If you think about it, only a mentally disabled person could have allowed this to happen to our country.
Okay, so first of all, there are actual people out there with mental impairments, and that's insulting to them. Second of all, Vice President Kamala Harris is not mentally impaired.
This inflammatory statement sets the tone for Donald Trump's relentless attacks on Vice President Kamala Harris, targeting both her intelligence and racial identity. As we delve into the evolving narrative of Trump's criticisms, we'll explore how these provocative remarks have shaped public discourse and potentially influenced voter perceptions in the lead-up to the election. Trump's criticism of Harris often veers into personal territory, going far beyond policy disagreements to question her fundamental capabilities and character. His attacks frequently blend accusations of mental incompetence with claims of dishonesty, creating a multifaceted assault on Harris's fitness for office. This strategy appears designed to undermine her credibility on multiple fronts simultaneously. In a particularly pointed attack, Trump states,
Crooked Joe Biden became mentally impaired, sad. But lying Kamala Harris, honestly, I believe she was born that way. There's something wrong with Kamala, and I just don't know what it is, but there is definitely something missing. And you know what? Everybody knows it. She should be impeached and prosecuted for her actions. By the way, if she wins, it's not going to be so pleasant for me, but I don't care. I really don't care. We have a job to do. You can't let her win. You can't.
Trump's rhetoric suggests widespread doubt about Harris's competence, potentially swaying undecided voters. His calls for her impeachment and prosecution escalate the attacks to imply criminal behavior. Trump's admission that a Harris victory would be personally unpleasant reveals self-interest, which may appeal to his base but draw criticism for mixing personal and national concerns. Beyond questioning her intelligence, Trump also makes controversial claims about Harris's racial identity, entering sensitive territory.
I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that she is...
I think somebody should look into that, too, when you continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
really don't
have said?
know. I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty.
Trump's comments question Harris's racial identity, implying it's inauthentic or politically motivated. This feeds into broader discussions about race and representation in American politics. His suggestion that Harris's racial identity is a matter of convenience ignores the complexities of multiracial experiences in America. The DEI hire reference fuels debates about affirmative action and representation in high office, potentially resonating with those uncomfortable with changing demographics and power structures. Trump's attacks often extend beyond policy to personal mockery, as seen in the following clip.
I'm a better-looking person than Kamala. No, I couldn't believe it. She said, I had never heard that one. They said, no, her biggest advantage is that she's a beautiful woman. I'm going, I never thought of that. I'm better looking than she is. In her speech yesterday, Kamala went full communist. You heard that? She went full communist. She wants to destroy our country. After causing catastrophic inflation, Comrade Kamala announced that she wants to institute socialist price controls. You saw that. Never worked before, never ever worked. This is the Maduro plan, Venezuela. Maduro plan of like the old Soviet Union. They tried it. How did the Soviet Union work out? It became Russia, a smaller version. It was a smaller version.
While the initial comments about appearance might seem lighthearted, they underscore a broader tendency in political discourse to judge female politicians on their looks rather than their policies or qualifications. This type of commentary can distract from substantive policy debates and reinforce gender stereotypes in politics. The abrupt shift from personal appearance to accusations of communism demonstrates Trump's rhetorical style, which often blends personal attacks with political fear-mongering. By labeling Harris as a communist and drawing parallels to Venezuela and the Soviet Union, Trump taps into deep-seated American fears about socialism and economic instability. This strategy aims to paint Harris not just as a political opponent, but as an existential threat to the American way of life. Trump's criticism of Harris extends beyond personal attacks to encompass her political ideology and what he perceives as her threat to American values.
Who would believe this? 80 days from now, we are going to defeat a communist known as Kamala Harris. She's a communist. Most radical left person ever to run for office. This is not what this country needs. We've had enough of them. This is communist, this is Marxist, this is fascist. But you know what? It's dangerous because she's saying that she's going to give away things that she'll never be able to get approved. Look, people say, be nice. Have you heard her laugh? That is the laugh of a crazy person. That is the laugh of a crazy. It's the laugh of a lunatic. Have you heard it? You know, they prohibited her. They prohibited her for laughing. I've been waiting for her to laugh because as soon as she laughs, the election's over. I heard the other day, and this isn't anything, I'm just saying, they'll say he was rambling. I don't ramble. I'm a really smart guy, really smart. I don't ramble. But the other day, anytime I hit too hard, they say he was rambling. Rambling.
This quote from the former president encapsulates many of Trump's key attack strategies against Harris. He begins by framing the election as a fight against communism, positioning Harris as the embodiment of far-left ideology. The repetition of terms like communist, Marxist, and fascist, despite their contradictory nature, serves to create a sense of ideological threat, regardless of the accuracy of these labels. Trump's claim that Harris is promising things she can't deliver plays into a common critique of progressive politicians, suggesting that their ambitious proposals are unrealistic or economically unsound. This approach may appeal to fiscally conservative voters or those skeptical of government programs. The focus on Harris's laugh is a particularly personal line of attack. By mocking her mannerisms, Trump attempts to undermine her gravitas and portray her as unserious or unstable. This type of criticism often carries gendered undertones, as women in politics frequently face scrutiny for their tone, appearance, or expressions in ways that their male counterparts do not. Trump's defensive comments about his own speaking style, insisting that he doesn't ramble and asserting his intelligence, reveal a sensitivity to criticism of his communication skills. By preemptively addressing potential critiques, he attempts to control the narrative around his speaking style and deflect attention back to his attacks on Harris. Finally, Trump introduces a new nickname for Harris, continuing his pattern of labeling political opponents.
And they've been to, I shouldn't tell you, 129 different rallies. Can you believe it? Look how great they look. And their husbands love them. I don't know how the husbands do this. They travel all over, and finally we have one in North Carolina, nice and easy. It's nice and easy for you. No, they're incredible people. 129 rallies, it's great. But it's really tremendous to be back in this beautiful state with thousands and thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. This is a nice arena. How about the people outside that can't get in? That's a lot of people, too. Would anybody like to give up your seat? Would anybody? You're just not generous people. As you know, 3 days ago, we officially defeated the worst president in the history of our country, crooked Joe Biden. He quit because he was losing so badly in the polls. He was down in every single poll and down by a lot, so he quit. But really, what happened was the leaders of the Democrat Party, in a very undemocratic move, the bosses, they said, either you get out or we're going to throw you out. using the 25th Amendment. That's what happened. You know that. So, well, you know that. That's what happens. That's what happens. These are nasty people, the Democrats, so we better beat them or we're not going to have a country left. You're not going to have a country left. So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris, Lion, L-Y-I-N apostrophe. The most incompetent and far-left vice president in American history. By the way, they did a poll. She was rated the worst vice president in history. I've never seen that poll before, but that's the poll. Together, we will win North Carolina in an epic landslide. We're way ahead in the polls. And we will take back that beautiful White House, and we will very simply make America great again.
Trump's personal attacks on Harris's intelligence, race, and character raise important questions about political discourse in America. As the election approaches, voters must weigh these provocative statements against substantive policy issues. While some view Trump's style as refreshingly direct, others argue it distracts from crucial debates. Ultimately, the true test of leadership lies not in crafting insults, but in the ability to govern effectively and address the nation's complex challenge.